Have you ever felt lost, adrift in a sea of your own thoughts? Like a heavy, invisible weight is pressing down on you, and the world outside feels gray and distant. I know that feeling all too well. It's like being trapped in a dream, a strange, surreal landscape where shadows have teeth and whispers echo with all your deepest fears. You walk through your days, but it's as if you're watching a movie of your life, not truly living it. Every corner you turn, there's this tangled mess of confusion and sorrow, an eldritch creature made of your own anxieties. Its tendrils wrapped so tightly around your heart that you can barely breathe. It's a lonely place, this inner world, and it can feel like there's no way out. The colors of life fade to monochrome, and joy feels like a language you've forgotten how to speak. This was my reality for what felt like an eternity. I was just a ghost, haunting the edges of my own existence, convinced that this heavy fog was all there would ever be. But even in the deepest, darkest pit, a single spark of light can change everything. For me, that spark was a breath. It started so small, almost by accident. One day, overwhelmed by the crushing weight, I just sat down. I closed my eyes and did the only thing I could think to do. I breathed. I didn't try to fix anything or think my way out of the darkness. I just focused on the air entering my lungs and then leaving in and out. It was so simple, so fundamental. For the first time in a long, long time, my mind had a single point of focus that wasn't a worry or a regret. I just sat there, following my breath, and for a few precious moments, the roaring monster in my head grew quiet. It was a tiny shift, a barely perceptible change in the tide, but it was enough. It was a beginning. This simple act of mindful breathing became my anchor. Whenever the storm of negative emotions threatened to pull me under, I would return to my breath. It taught me that I wasn't the storm, I was the sky. The clouds of thought and emotion would pass, but I, the observer, remained. It was a profound realization. That small anchor gave me the strength to take another step. I started going outside. Not for any grand purpose, just to be. I would walk to a nearby park and find a tree. I'd lean against its rough bark, close my eyes and listen. I listened to the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, the distant hum of the city. I'd take off my shoes and feel the cool, damp earth beneath my feet. This wasn't just about getting fresh air. It was about connection. I was plugging myself back into the world, grounding myself in something ancient and alive. I started to notice the intricate patterns on a leaf, the way the sunlight filtered through the canopy, the resilience of a tiny flower pushing its way through a crack in the pavement. Nature didn't demand anything from me. It simply was in all its imperfect, beautiful glory. It taught me about cycles, about seasons of growth and decay, and the promise that after every winter, spring will come. Slowly, the gray in my vision started to recede, and subtle shades of color began to return. I was learning to see the world again, not through the lens of my pain, but with fresh, curious eyes. With this newfound stability, I felt ready to invite more intentional practices into my life. I heard about gratitude journaling, and though skeptical, I decided to give it a try. Every night, before bed, I would sit in a quiet space, maybe light a candle to create a sense of occasion, a little bit of magic. I bought a simple notebook, and my only rule was to write down 3 things I was grateful for that day. At first, it was hard. Some days, all I could muster was grateful for a warm bed or grateful for a cup of tea. But I persisted. And a funny thing happened. The more I looked for things to be grateful for, the more I found them. My brain, so accustomed to scanning for threats and problems, was being retrained to scan for blessings. I started noticing the kindness of a stranger, the beauty of a sunset, the comfort of a good song. My journal became a sacred text, a record of the light in my life, no matter how small. It wasn't about ignoring the darkness, but about consciously turning my attention toward the light. This evening ritual evolved. After writing in my gratitude journal, I began a practice of reflection. I would sit quietly and review my day, not with judgment, but with gentle curiosity. I'd ask myself, where did I feel most alive today? When did I act from a place of love, and when did I act from fear? What did I learn? This wasn't about self-criticism. It was about self-discovery. It was like sitting down with a wise and compassionate friend who happened to be myself and gently unpacking the day. I imagined myself in a mystical library, pulling the book of my day off the shelf and reading its story with wisdom and understanding. This nightly ritual of gratitude and reflection became my sanctuary. It was a space where I could process my experiences, release what no longer served me, and set a gentle intention for the next day. It was my time to connect with my inner self, to listen to its quiet wisdom, and to honor my own journey. In the stillness of the night, surrounded by the soft glow of a candle, I was slowly, carefully, lovingly piecing myself back together. And then, one day, it happened. It wasn't a lightning strike or a dramatic fanfare. It was a quiet, profound sense of arrival. I was sitting, watching the sunrise, the sky painted in hues of pink and gold. I was breathing, feeling the cool morning air on my skin. I was feeling grateful for the simple beauty of the moment. And suddenly the separation dissolved. The feeling of me inside and the world outside just fell away. I felt an overwhelming sense of connection to everything. I wasn't just watching the sunrise. I was the sunrise. I was the chirping bird, the ancient tree, the vast, expansive sky. The anxieties and fears that had defined me for so long were still there like distant echoes, but they had lost their power. They were just thoughts, just energy, passing through a much larger, more peaceful space. It was a state of pure being, a deep, unshakable peace that came not from changing my circumstances, but from changing my relationship to them. It was a cosmic understanding that I am a part of this incredible, mysterious universe, and the universe is a part of me. This journey from the depths of that surreal nightmare to this place of quiet awakening taught me that enlightenment isn't some distant peak you have to climb. It's right here, right now, in this breath. It's in the feeling of the earth beneath your feet, in the simple act of writing down what you're grateful for. The path out of the darkness isn't a battle to be won, it's a returning. A returning to your breath, to nature, to your own heart. It's about creating small, sacred rituals that remind you of the light that has been inside you all along. The darkness doesn't just vanish. It becomes part of a larger landscape, a shadow that gives depth and contrast to the light. My journey isn't over. It's a continuous unfolding. But now I walk with a sense of peace and a deep knowing that whatever storms may come, I have an anchor, I have the sky, and I have the infinite, beautiful, mysterious universe holding me, supporting me, and living through me. This awakening isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. If you are struggling, please know you are not alone. It's so important to reach out and talk to someone. You can find resources and support lines in the description below. Your journey matters and help is available. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more journeys into the heart and mind. Be well.